On a quiet, tree-lined street in a small town in Ohio, there is a house that is also a museum. It has no sign, no hours of operation. Its curator is an old woman named Elsie, and its collection consists of one thing: grief suspended in amber. Elsie's husband, Arthur, was a co-pilot on a B-24 Liberator shot down over Ploesti, Romania. In the summer of 1943, the telegram said missing in action. For Elsie, that was not an end, but a beginning. It was the start of her true war, the war against not knowing. While others hung gold stars in their windows, Elsie built her museum. It began in the spare bedroom. She did not pack away Arthur's things. She curated them. His pre-war suits hung in the closet, brushed weekly. His shaving kit sat on the dresser, the brush still holding the faint, ghostly scent of his soap. His favorite chair by the radio was kept vacant. A book of poetry he was reading left open on the armrest. A single strand of his hair, saved from his comb, marking the page. Each item was a defiant exhibit, proof of a life that could not simply be erased by a government telegram. The museum was her base of resistance against the official verdict of history. Her mission, self-assigned, was to keep Arthur present until he could either return or be found. For years, she conducted research. She wrote letters to the War Department, to the Red Cross, to other families of the lost crew. She compiled a file of every rumor, every possible crash site location, every German report of captured airmen. She became an expert on the air war over Romania, a subject no one else in her town cared about. Her museum expanded to include maps with pins, aerial photographs, and handwritten notes in the margins, a command center for a search that had no official backing. Visitors were rare and by invitation only. A neighbor bringing soup, a distant cousin. They would be led into the museum room. Elsie wouldn't weep. She would give a tour. This was his graduation photograph from flight school. The weather over Ploesti that day was clear, with high cumulus clouds. They were part of the 98th Bomb Group. Their liberator was named the Ohio Queen. She spoke with the calm precision of a historian, each fact a brick in the wall she was building against oblivion. As decades passed, the museum became an anachronism. The world moved on to new wars, new worries. Elsie's hair turned white, but the room did not age. It was a perfect capsule of 1943. The grief was not less. It was just as acute, but it had been institutionalized, made manageable through ritual and cataloging. In 1997, a team of forensic archaeologists, using declassified records, found the crash site of a B-24 in a Romanian forest. They recovered identification tags. One was Arthur's. They contacted the next of kin, a niece, who then called Elsie. The news did not bring collapse. It brought completion. Elsie, then in her 80s, received the confirmation with a quiet, profound sigh. She thanked the caller. Then she walked into her museum. For the first time in 54 years, she moved the objects with finality. She took the strand of hair from the poetry book. She closed the book. She carefully folded the suits and packed the shaving kit. She took down the maps and filed the letters. She did not destroy anything. She simply decommissioned the museum. Its purpose had been served. Arthur was no longer missing. He had been found. The room became a normal, empty spare bedroom. Elsie lived another few years in peace. The story of the museum is the story of the war's longest campaign, fought not for victory, but for dignity. It proves that for every man listed as missing, there was often someone back home building a fortress of memory, a private institution dedicated to a single, unassailable fact: that he existed, he was loved, and he would not be forgotten until the very last, definitive word arrived. The final base to stand down was not made of steel, but of a love that refused to surrender to a file stamped unknown.